Hey Abe, it's me, it's Uncle Murray. Listen kid, I just got a couple of minutes. I gotta meet some people and I'm running late. But your mother says that you ain't never heard of Rumpelstiltskin, so you don't understand my last story. How a guy can go through life without knowing about Rumpelstiltskin, I don't know. Gotta start reading more, kid. Anyway, I gotta make this quick, so listen up. Okay, a long time ago, there's this poor guy who's talking to the king, and he says, "Hey king, guess what? My kid can spin straw into gold." So the king says, "Really? Far out. I think I'll lock her in a room with a bunch of straw and a spinning wheel, and if she can do it, cool. If she can't..." So he locks the kid in the room, and she starts crying her eyes out. Then in walks this short little guy, and he says, "Hey Toots, what's wrong?" She says, "I gotta spin all this straw into gold, or the king will kill me, and I can't do it." So the little guy says, "Don't worry, kid, I'll do it for you." She says, "Yeah?" He says, "Sure, what do you give me?" She says, "Here, take my necklace." He says, "Thanks, doll, now get out of the way." And he spins all the straw into gold. The next morning, the king sees all the gold and says, "Wow, you done good, kid. Now do it again, or else..." and locks her in again. Now she's all upset again, and the little guy comes back and he says, "What's wrong now, kid?" She says, "Same thing. He wants me to do it again." He says, "No problem, I'll do it again. What do you give me?" She says, "Here, take my ring." He says, "Thanks," and he spins all that straw into gold. Next day, king comes in, sees all the gold, and says, "Well, look at that, you done it again. Do it one more time and I'll marry you. Now get going." Well, the chick turns the waterworks back on, and in comes the little guy again and says, "Well, now what's wrong with you?" She says, "I gotta do it one more time and I'll be a queen." He says, "No sweat, kid. What do you give me to do it again?" She says, "I got nothing. I'm broke." He says, "Don't worry about it. If you and the king ever have a kid, give it to me, okay?" She says, "All right, sure, why not?" And the little dude fills up the whole room with spun gold again. Now fast forward a couple of years. Now she's a queen. She pops out a kid and figures that the little man forgot about the whole deal by now. But then, all of a sudden, he shows up and says, "Hey, you queenie, how's it going? Congrats on the kid. Now gimme." And she says, "Oh, no, please don't take my kid, shorty. Let me keep him." He says, "Okay, I'll give you 3 days to guess my name. If you can do it, cool. The kid's all yours. But if you can't, I'm taking the little sucker with me." So she starts thinking of all the names she's ever heard, and the little guy comes back and says, "Hey, you doll, guess my name yet?" She says, "Is it Humphrey?" He says, "No, it ain't Humphrey." She says, "Is it Larry?" She says, "No, it ain't Larry. Keep guessing. See you tomorrow, Toots." Then the queen asks everybody in the kingdom what his name could be, but nobody knows nothing. So the little guy comes back and says, "You got my name yet?" And she says, "Is it Shecky?" He says, "No, it ain't Shecky." She says, "Is it Aloysius?" He says, "No, it ain't Aloysius. See you tomorrow. Good luck." Well, on the third day, a messenger sees a little guy dancing around a fire in the woods, and he's belting out some stupid poem that goes, "Sing, song, something or other, blah, 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 my name is Rumpelstiltskin." And the messenger says, "I got it." So he runs back to the castle and says, "Your Royal Highness, I saw the little weirdo dancing around a fire in the woods, and he blabbed his name. It's Rumpelstiltskin." And she says, "Thanks, buddy, now beat it." Then in comes a little guy, and he says, "Hey, you queenie, how's tricks? Guess my name yet?" She says, "Is it Morris?" He says, "No, it ain't Morris." She says, "Is it Herschel?" He says, "No, it ain't Herschel." Then she says, "Wait, is it Rumpelstiltskin?" And he says, "Gah, who told you? Who told you?" And she says, "None of your business. Now beat it, you freak. Oh, and leave the kid." And the little guy was so mad that he tore himself to pieces. Boom, the end. Now take what I just told you and compare it to my story about sprockets, and you tell me which one makes more sense and sounds more like the truth. Now, I gotta go meet my pals. Your Aunt Florence is going past the post office, and she'll drop this tape in the mail for you, and you'll get it in no time. Now, I gotta go. Take care, buddy. I miss you, and I love you. Bye-bye.